Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we will be doing a side-by-side review on two loose setting powders. They're both translucent. One is by Mercier and the other by Face of Australia. So I can't wait to test that out. I've used the Mercier one, that's my go-to one at the moment, and I've recently picked up the Face of Australia one, so I can't wait to see whether or not that's the same and does just as good work or better, because then I can save money and use that one instead. So I'm just going to go in with Born This Way foundation by Too Faced in the colour Snow. Yes, I'm nice and pale. Just got a damp Real Techniques beauty sponge. And just going in. I think this is a little bit light for me, but I think I have tanned up a little bit. There we go. So this, I find it's about a medium coverage for me. I don't find it full at all. It's definitely not a full coverage foundation. And I've never really built it up to be full coverage, just because it's quite a light foundation, and I just feel like that's the aim of it, and it's a really good day-to-day one. And it does cover that though, thank God. So obviously I've already done my eyes, as you can see. I used the Stila palette. I'll link the one I used below. I don't have it on hand right now to show you, but I'll link it below. It's beautiful. So as you can still see quite a lot of texture, a lot of my skin pigmentation through. I've only used about 1.5 pumps anyway. I'm not one to always use a full coverage for my foundation. I usually prefer medium. Sorry, I just got the mirror there. And always blend down your neck, around behind your ear, because if you wear your hair out or up, people can always see that. So there we are. So that's that on my skin. It's not a rough job of this foundation, but it's really easy to just chuck it on. Like, it's not one that you really have to sit there blending. It blends out so easily. So I really love that about this foundation. The next one I'm gonna go in with is my Naked Skin Urban Decay concealer. I have the shade Fair Neutral. I need to pick up one just a little bit darker. This does highlight a lot, as you can see. I don't go all the way down my nose because my nose doesn't like to keep product on it very well. So, and I'm just going to go back in with my sponge and just dab. So just pressing that into the skin. As you can see, I still have, gotta get rid of that. It is not good. There we go. This also cleans up any eye product that you've used. And say you've made a bit of a mess, you just want it cleaned up a little bit, which is a great way to do it. So as you can see, it's a bit more of a cleaner line. There we are. Alrighty, so now that's done, we want to set our under eyes straight away. So I'm going to go in on this side with the Mercier powder. So it is very finely milled, and I'm just going to chuck that on there. And so what that does, just by baking under the eye, it just stops creasing. Wow, this actually looks quite coloured. I don't know if that's going to pick up the difference, because one's on a black lid, one's on a white lid, but yeah, it does actually look quite coloured. It's even coming up coloured on the sponge. So it'll be interesting to see how this bakes. I haven't actually baked with this yet. So, okay, so my first initial reaction to this is that yes, it is coloured. Absolutely. Just slightly, it's just got a tint, but this is a lot more white, and yeah. So I always, while the baking is happening, I press in some powder around my mouth and around the edge of my nose, because that's just places it creases. My foundation creases, and just up here I have a few lines that it likes to settle into. But otherwise I don't really do too much, and I will do the same on this side. So both are feeling the same as they're going on. Both are nice and smooth. I feel like maybe I'm using a little bit more of the Mercier powder, which I don't think is a good thing at all. So I'm going to go in with the Mercier powder with my Nude by Nature large buffy fluffer brush thingy, and I'm just going to be really careful, because obviously you do have your eye makeup on. Well, I do. There we go. So that's set it really nicely. So that's really good. Just get a little bit more out. Just put a little bit on my brush. And just set that foundation down. This brush is amazing, by the way. This one, and I've also been, well, not comparing, but I've recently picked up this one, which is the Real Techniques one. They call it their powder brush, and like, it's nice like that. So I'm going to use this for the Face of Australia one. I've used it before, so it's not a new brush. It's new, just newer than the other one. Okay, so that came off actually really good. It did actually, I feel, maybe I've added a bit more coverage actually by having that little tint in it by baking. Still not sure if I'm sold on it, so I've just picked up a little bit more. Just gonna go. And yep, I do set the foundation on my neck because I don't want it creasing and I want it all just to be the same. So, oh, you saw that, didn't you? Oh well. And then around the outside. It's just a habit. Okay. Both sides feel very smooth. There's not a whole lot of difference. This one probably feels a little bit more powdery, and yet I probably used less powder on that side. So, as you can see, it doesn't look powdery, so that's a bonus. Yeah, so far so good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off camera. I'll put the rest of my makeup back on and I'll give you my final thoughts on these two products. See you soon. Alright, and I am back with the rest of my makeup on. So here we go, my final thoughts on these two products. So the Face of Australia Translucent Loose Powder definitely has some tint to it, even though it says it's translucent, but it doesn't add, I know this sounds weird, but it doesn't add colour to the face. So when I had a good close-up look, it hadn't changed this half of my face, and so that's a good thing. The only problem I did find was when I was contouring and putting my bronzer on as well, it didn't go on as smoothly as it usually does, and I was using the same bronzers and contour powders that I usually use. So that there was a little bit, I wasn't sure whether it's a powder or something else, so I will continue to use this powder. I don't mind it, but I'm not sure it will replace my Laura Mercier one. It is just, I know it's high-end, I know it's expensive, but it's, I think, more finely milled, and it just makes my face feel so smooth. My makeup does last longer, it looks good. I really can't fault it. Oh well, expensive taste, what can I say? Oh well. But yeah, so overall, it's still a good powder, and if you can't afford the Laura Mercier one, I definitely say go out and give that one a shot. I do think it's really hard to get though. It's always been sold out when I've been looking for it. My partner recently was able to pick it up when he was out working, and he was able to find it in one of the price lines after he finished work. So yeah, so I don't know. They're both really good, but I'm probably going to stick to my Laura Mercier one at the moment. If you've got any other translucent powders that you think are really awesome and you think I should give a go, I would love that. And especially if they're drugstore or anything like that, I would definitely like a suggestion, because anything to save money is a plus, especially if it does just as good as the high-end stuff as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Anyway, I'll see you next week in my video. Thanks you. Bye!